Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. This is the 42nd video on my video journal series. Today's date is Sunday, the 22nd of March 2026. And something I want to share with you today is my experiences of being, a perfectionist. Now, unfortunately, I still have the perfectionist mindset, which I've been trying to get out of, which I'll explain why later. But I feel like it all really started in senior year of high school, basically year 11, year 12, where, for those who don't know, we have to do something called the HSC, which is basically our version of high school finals here in New South Wales. And I remember when I did my HSC, all the teachers were stressing to me that you're going to get a high mark, get a high ATAR, which is basically a university admission number, which is based on your academic performance in year 11 and year 12. The higher ATAR you get, the more likelihood you'll get into your course, if it's above that threshold. But, unfortunately, teachers like to wave around ATARs like doggy treats, like, oh, you want to get a high ATAR? You want to get a high ATAR? You're going to do this, you're going to work hard, you're going to be first, perfectionist sort of thing. I feel like that's what the school curriculum really pushes in, I guess, senior high school, which I've always disagreed with. Because my view is not everyone can be number one, but everyone can run their own race. Everyone can be number one in their own race, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, and I really just don't like that ranking system. I think, academia and school aren't sports, where everyone needs to come first, second, and third. Everyone, all right, needs to learn. That's the point of school. And I think school should be measured in how much someone improves their knowledge and understanding. Not whoever comes first or second consistently, but whoever improves the most. That should be first place. But yet again, I do, kind of despise the ranking system in high school. But, my advice is just run your own race. Work hard. Figure out what you love in life or you're passionate about and just keep on working at it. And for those who are doing the HSC, my advice is, run your own race. Don't, pay attention to what other people are getting or what marks they're getting or what ranking they have. Just run your own race. It's all about improvement. I went from borderline failing in some subjects to actually, doing well. And to me, that's what matters, you know. And unfortunately, sometimes in life you do come across that, I guess, perfectionist sort of mindset. But, my approach to perfectionism is that we humans are made to be sort of imperfect. We're supposed to aim to improve and to learn. If everyone was perfect, then we wouldn't need to learn. But now we have schools, we have universities, we have institutions designed to improve our knowledge. Um, you know, so yeah, don't buy into this sort of perfectionism. I like to imagine perfectionism as basically, the carrot over the donkey, where the donkey's, keeps on walking, walking, walking to the carrot that, what do you call people who ride donkeys? I don't know. I'm going to call them donkey riders, always put in front. And no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard that donkey tries walking through the desert or walking through wherever it needs to go, it's just going to keep on chasing that carrot, but it's never, never going to reach it. That's basically what perfectionism is like. But, you don't have to be perfectionist. You can be a very, very, very good person, but you don't have to be perfectionist. I feel like sometimes when people try and push perfectionism is when they're really, I guess, dedicated or passionate about something. And I'm like, all right, continue that passion, continue what you love. But being perfectionist just means, building your own structure or piece of art and then just immediately knocking it down afterwards because you were just dissatisfied about the entire process. No, build upon it. If you made a mistake, fix it, but build upon your drafts, build upon what you do. If you're writing an essay, the first thing you write isn't going to be perfect. You have to go through multiple revisions to get something that's good. Keep on working at it. And it's good to write drafts. It's good to be, you know, drawing sketches or laying down the framework of something. You can't build a house all in one go. You got to do it in steps. Sometimes you need to fix certain stuff, and that's all right. You know. Um. So yeah, I've been just trying to get in that mindset of me just running my own race, and you know, I feel like my I guess perfectionism really just came out of me wanting to act smarter and appease everyone, you know, because I feel like I'm quite a boring and sometimes annoying person. So sometimes I try to be a little bit perfectionist to solve those issues. But I realize, you know, everyone's unique in their own ways. If people find me annoying, that's all right. But I'm going to keep on talking. I'm going to keep on making these videos here on YouTube, whenever you like it or not. Because I want to meet that goal, of me creating a video journal series over 20 years. And I try to act interesting. I'm always welcome to feedback, but, you know, there's certain things I can't control, like my voice, or I guess my little awkward habits looking at the camera. I guess sometimes I look away because I get easily distracted, but, you know, that doesn't bother me too much. Um, so, yeah, and I guess, just to end this video off, I really see like perfectionism as, you know, something that really isn't needed in society. I feel like everyone needs to work hard and live out their lives, but being perfectionist is something that you, I guess, quickly drop once you enter university or the workplace environment, hopefully, because I feel like, yeah, when it comes to like very important events in life, like the HSC, for instance, a lot of people strive to be perfectionists or strive to get first place, but you should just strive, like I said, to run your own race. Strive to improve yourself in the best possible way you can. Don't pay attention if someone got a 90 plus mark on an essay, out of 100. Um, don't pay attention if they did it all in one night and you spent 2 weeks very hard on an essay, with a lot of research and you got a lower mark for them. Who cares? You know? Um, who cares? If you got a lower mark with someone else and you spend a lot more time on the task and, you feel like, man, why can't I get that person's mark? Well, don't pay attention. Like, you've done the very best you can. You've worked really hard. Feel proud about it. Feel proud about that mark. Feel proud about the work you did. It's like being in the office environment, just trying to be employee of the month. Like, it's quite useless. You know, as someone who has, held some jobs, I've never got an employee of the month. I think maybe like at my old job, my first job, maybe I did, but I long forget it. But I remember one of my jobs I had, I never got employee of the month, even though I, you know, delivered great customer service and all that, because, I never saw any value in it. Everyone should be employee of the month if you ask me. The one who is improved the most should feel like their first place, you know? So yeah, that's why I just really dislike the ranking system. I mean, in sports it makes sense, but school isn't a sport. School has sports, but you know, you shouldn't like, I guess, gotchify, if you know what I mean. Not gotchify. That means something is random. You shouldn't like make school or the learning process competitive. You shouldn't make learning competitive. Learning is an individualistic sort of thing. It depends on the individual. It shouldn't be, you know, measured up against other people. You know, learning should be about improving your own knowledge, not like comparing other people's knowledge to, like comparing one person's knowledge to another person. No, it should just be high school running your own race, like I said, and keep on working hard at life. I guess always aim to strive high, but don't aim to be perfectionist. aim to be the very, very best you can, and work on your weaknesses. But sometimes you may never be good at a certain thing, and who cares? You gave your best crack at it, and that's admirable. That is what really matters. um, yeah, hopefully this, I guess, motivational video will get a lot of people, I guess, working hard. I've been trying to, I guess, get into that mindset. Just me accomplishing what I want to do, like this video journal series. But yeah, I guess thanks for watching, and you have a great one. See ya. Catch you next time.